You're going to get another infusion of call-ups tonight. How will that impact your lineup, and where will you use those guys?
Well, we need them all. So, you get Jurasek and Bjorky, a couple defensemen there, and get Fix. You get another look at him and Lodo back. So they'll all fit in where they fit in. I'm not sure yet. Look at that.
How much are you looking forward to seeing Jurasek and where he's grown since we've seen him up here last?
Yeah, lots of reports, lots of conversations. But yeah, I look forward to seeing him playing in a game. Absolutely.
Lars, how much more difficult are these call-ups than in a normal situation? Because you've got Cleveland playing some important games. I know you've rotated guys coming up, some of them. Jurasek's been such a big part for them. How much do you weigh all of the things you have to consider, plus what Cleveland needs for its game tonight?
Yeah, we're trying to do our part to help them, a little bit with personnel. That's why those guys went back, and pretty important game, and they come up with a big win. So, there's lots of discussions here and just trying to figure out what's right on both ends, right? Like we need bodies. We need 4 bodies. They play again tonight, so we're taking from them. But that's how it works. I've been down there, and it's not fun. It's challenging. What everybody forgets is when we get injuries, we take all their players, and then understand they get injuries on top of that. So it's been challenging for them too, and they're right to the end. So it's unfortunate the way these dates fall that we're playing at the same time. But I look forward to seeing Jurasek. I know he'll be excited. I look forward to seeing some of these guys play NHL games.
Hey, can you say what Luoto and Bjork are up against? I know it's not unusual in the AHL to play 3-3, but 3-3 with travel after the first and the second is pretty intense.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic, that's for sure. 3-3, it's on the bus. You're doing it together as a team. This was a lot of flights, planes, trains, and automobiles to get back here, and different things. And I don't think anybody's upset when you're doing it to get back to the NHL, though.
And last one for me, Liam Foudy, what do you see in his play now versus what you saw from him early in the season, say before he scored his first goal?
Well, I've always seen the speed, but now I'm seeing the other parts of it. I think he's got more confidence with the puck. He's making more plays. I mean, great example is that Toronto goal there where he dukes the guy in the neutral zone, lays it out, drives the net, creates that whole play himself just with his speed, but with the second part of it, with, making the puck play, making the right decision at the blue line, driving through. So he's added to his game in a lot of areas. He's been on the penalty kill, and you start to see him there. His hockey sense in different times. And these are these opportunities some guys get that maybe they wouldn't have with a full lineup. And so you're always watching who's taking advantage of it. So I've seen a much different player the last 6 weeks. I can tell you that from the first, probably 40 games of the season.
The transaction obviously comes from above you, but why is right now the right time to see David Jurasek here again?
Well, I don't know if right now is the right time. It's just this is the time he's coming. Like I said, there's lots of conversations that happen throughout the year, and we monitor things very, very closely. He's had a good season, an up and down season too. A lot of hockey for him. So, I think this is one of those opportunities to reward him and just see what he looks like here. And we know he's a big part of our future. I don't think there's any secret there what he can bring and his upside. So today, excited to see him.
This whole season, I guess when I look back over it, you've been through a lot, obviously, with injuries and illness and all this stuff. On a daily basis, sometimes you don't even know who's going to be available. Boone missed 3 weeks, but I mean, through it all, it seems like your room has been good through it all. The effort's been there most nights. How important has it been to have a guy like Boone Jenner, wear the C for a team like this in a season like this?
Yeah, no, he's so important. I think he missed 4 weeks. It felt like 4 weeks anyway, if it wasn't. He just what he brings every day. And you talk about checking the boxes of intangibles and effort, and he's leading our team in goals, and after missing a month of hockey, and so he's not a one-trick pony. He goes all the dirty areas. You see where he scores. He's found a knack. He's great at the face-off circle. He can kill penalties for me if I need him. I have to take him off because I play him too much as it is. And, the power play, he got himself back on that first unit now, and you see what he does in front. He's always screening. He's always there. He's in front. He's just relentless on pucks. And then the other side of it's what he does in our room. what he does in the weight room, what he does every day as far as leading. And it's not with his mouth. It's not that he's having conversations all the time, but it's his actions. And those speak way louder than the words, probably 95% of the time. It's what you do. It's not what you say. So he's a perfect guy to follow and just watch and what he does. And even in practices, when it gets to the point where it might be you don't feel like doing it, he does it 100% every time. There's just no off switch with him. So he's a guy that you can't say enough about him, how important he is on and off the ice for this group, for the organization. And he's a guy who's going to fight right to the end.
When you talk about actions speaking louder than words, I mean, he breaks his thumb in Tampa Bay, I believe it was, and plays a full game the next, 2 days later in Boston.
He played 2 more games.
There was two
Yeah.
more games, yeah, before he goes out. That in itself kind of sends its own message, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
no spectacle. It doesn't make it an issue, and then they re-x-ray, and it has to have surgery. Didn't complain about it, and he's still going to the net doing his things, and then he has surgery, and he's back early. You know, there's lots of examples of that people don't realize. Guys are coming back early. Sean's another one. Corrali. I mean, he was at the time was probably 4 to 6 weeks. He was back in just over 3 because he wants to get back. He wants to play, and we know where the season's at. But he's a guy that could easily coast it to the finish line. There's just no way. That's not how that's not his DNA. So these are the things you watch. You watch these things very closely, and because this is, you can say that this has been challenging. There's just no question about it from start to finish here. But you can learn a lot on the positive and some head scratching stuff too. And so these years you don't want to go through. I wouldn't choose this year. I wouldn't. But there's many times I said I'm glad we're going through it because you get to learn a lot about a lot of different things, on and off ice habits, different things that you would never see until you hit a circumstance like this. Because when it does get good, you know who you can trust and rely on, and they're going to be there when the chips are down. And that's why we talk about when playoffs hit, if and when that comes, you know which guys are all in. You know, because at these times, they're revealing their character, a lot of it.
Brad, you mentioned the challenging year. You're going to play in front of a full building here tonight. Not a throwaway question here at all. I mean, it's fan appreciation night. They've been unconditional with their support. What has that meant to you guys?
No, you never throw that question. That is such an important thing. And these fans have keep coming back, and they keep coming back in this challenging year. And if anything, it could have been half empty a lot of these nights. And on weekdays, it could be empty. And they're there, and they're cheering these guys on. And you know, it's so awesome to see, and I don't think they understand how important that is to the players and what that feels like. They really appreciate it. You know, this is what this is for. Fan appreciation night is to really thank them, and because they've gone through it too. No one wants to win more than them too. They're hungry to win. They're the fifth line, and that's the hard part is, you know. But watching them come out, cheer these guys on, it's so important, and it's so great to see.
And finally, on your lineup, with all these guys in, who's out?
Well, nobody's out because we need them all back in.
them all.
Yeah, we're just hoping to get in on time. That's our biggest challenge right now. Hutch is in that.
Joe's good to go.
Yeah, Johnny's good.
Thank you.